Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my in-depth look at all the astrological energies, the cosmic weather forecast for the month of July 2022. So, what is it about for us this month? Well, I think that we're in Cancer season. So, Cancer brings in that warm, nurturing, loving, mothering energy. And sometimes I think we really have to give ourselves a bit of mothering. We have to mother that, inner child that sometimes can feel quite lost. There's something that is said that if we're lonely, it's because we're caught in our kind of child part. But if we're actually able to be alone and don't mind being alone, we're in that adult part. And I think that's quite a good kind of point to sort of remember sometimes, that there's quite a difference between being lonely and being able to be alone. When we're in our adult, we don't need to feel lonely. And I think if you can be aware of that and just look at what is the inner child in me not receiving, where is it not being fed? Cancer is about nurturing. Cancer is about feeding. It's about this wonderful mothering, loving energy. Its ruling planetary body is the moon. The moon is our wonderful satellite that clings closely to our lovely planet Earth. So with this energy, which we will have until the 23rd when the sun moves into Leo, maybe take time out to just kind of think how you can nurture yourself and your inner child a bit more. And then by the time the sun goes into Leo, take that child part of you to the beach or a sandpit or a lake with a beach, but somewhere where you can play a bit, because everything in the world has been so serious lately. And sometimes it's really important to just get a bit lighter, see things, see the bigger picture, be in the present, live and enjoy the present. But let's look at what difficult or challenging energies, because there are some, we have this month, and get them out the way, and then we can move on to the nice stuff. So we've still got the energy of Mars in Aries. Mars, our god of war, Mars, our god of activity, assertion, energy. And Mars is still conjunct our dwarf planet Aries, who is the planet or the goddess of strife and discord during our first week. This is going to bring to the surface riotous behavior, whether that's on a personal level or whether it's on the world stage. But we could see this kind of energy spilling out onto the streets. Certainly in parts of the world that are already suffering from a dis-ease in the way their governments are handling their kind of internal affairs. The United Kingdom has seen quite a bit of disappointment from the people in the way the government has been handling problems that have arisen over the last couple of years. So that is a likely candidate for people really taking to the streets to air their grievances. And of course, we may also see this in parts of Russia as they become more aware of what has been going on with the disruption and the invasion of the sovereign state of Ukraine. But the other country where we might see it hitting the headlines, of course, is the United States of America. They have a lot of ongoing issues and problems, which I'm not going to go into because I'm not American. I'm not well versed enough in American laws to really comment confidently. But we are all aware that they have problems with their gun laws and the regulations, and that there's quite a divide in the country between what's right, what's wrong, what we can have, what we can't have, what we can do, what we can't do. And that fits in very much with the fact that during this first part of July, America will experience the second hit of what's called its Pluto return. I will explain. I will explain briefly because I've done a separate video on this whole topic. But the Pluto return is when Pluto, that is currently retrograde in Capricorn, it will arrive back at the same degree it was at on July the 4th, I think it was 1776, but please forgive me, my dear American viewers, if I've got the date wrong because I can't remember. But I know it was the Declaration of Independence. It was when America broke away basically from Europe and mostly from the British Empire. So this is what we call its second hit, and it happens between the 4th of July and the 12th. With this energy, America's being given an opportunity to step up and to allow the necessary changes in government structures. Structure is incredibly important because Pluto is in Capricorn. This is about structure. And it's about allowing young blood, fresh, new energy to guide the country. So we're all going to feel the effects of what unfolds in the United States over the next month. So just keep a kind of an eye out on what's going on in the news, because this will have ripple effects in the worldwide economy. We've still got that difficult position of Uranus, our planet of the unexpected, in Taurus. So we will see disruption in the financial kind of sector. So let's just be aware of that. But how's it going to affect you personally? Well, we know that because we've had the pandemic, and I'm going to try and make this all sound exciting and positive, but we have to sort of face the truth of what we're all facing at the moment, which is inflation and recession. We can see that the unfolding events we've had in the world over the last couple of years have taken their toll on every country in the world, and on also, because of what's happening in Eastern Europe and Ukraine, on the World Food Programme. And that is seriously, seriously a big problem. But, you know, on a personal level, I think it's about us individually taking the steps we need to look after ourselves. It doesn't mean not looking or caring for your neighbour or your family or your friends, but it's a really wonderful opportunity, isn't it, to be more ecologically minded, to maybe decide to start working on an allotment, grow your own vegetables. Maybe if you did have a yard or a garden, you know, to have some chickens, and to do something which is kind of helpful to you and your neighbours, in the sense that you address what could be seen as expensive items of food, like just the basics that we need every day. So we need to also, I think, see the bigger picture of this energy, because Jupiter, my big boy, my big outer planet of luck, opportunity and expansion, is conjunct our wounded healer Chiron. Jupiter is asking us, because I'm going to try and lift this energy up now, Jupiter is asking us to, in a sense, indulge in world healing. Yes, things are tough, but if we all play our part and just tighten the belt, just, you know, be aware of what we're spending out and what we're laying out. And Jupiter's wonderful vibration can lift us to a much kind of higher collective viewpoint and help us to bring in that healing energy of Chiron that wonderful healing energy that can soothe troubled waters, that can help us to see the bigger picture. I think that's really super important. Now, we need to also look at the full moon this month because it's in Capricorn. It's on the 13th of July. So, of course, this is where we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. This energy comes just at the tail end of Pluto's return to the point where it was exact in the United States birth chart. I do feel this full moon is about a tipping point of change. And to bear in mind that when the old guard has to change, there is always a period of dark. And we have to have faith when we're in that dark place. You know, that's an interesting thing, actually. Faith is a word that we tend to not use much. Maybe it's kind of got bad unconscious sort of connotations because of its link to various religious traditions. And I'd like to suggest that we bring faith back into the kind of arena and give it a new status, a new vibration of kind of love and hope, because it has a much deeper and intense meaning than just hope or trust. So, you know, because if we have faith that the divine's got our back, because she has, you know, it means that we're able to give it over. I give this over to the divine. I'm not going to carry it myself. So remember that throughout the rest of July. When things are getting tough, just say, oh, okay, you, divine, whatever your word is for that kind of great, intelligent kind of consciousness, then have faith in that. Before I go on to your individual charts, the new moon is in Leo on the 28th. And this could bring some sudden creative change, which would be super exciting. And I think for the new to come in, it's about, we always have to, we have to be creative with our potential outcomes. If we stick too rigidly to our idea or our intent, it doesn't give the universe much to play with. You know, the universe needs a little bit of flexibility here. You know, we're saying, I know, I want Bill. No, maybe Bill isn't the best person for you. Apologies to any Bills out there, but you know, maybe it's actually about, I've got Fred here, and Fred actually would be far more compatible with you, for you, than with Bill. But if you go with Bill, you're going to miss out on Fred, which would have been even better. So that's always important to bear in mind. And so as a final thought, try not to allow yourself to be distracted by events on the world stage or in your own personal lives that can knock you off course. We have been negotiating rough seas over the last really basically 2.5 years. I think we're pretty used to it now. And you know what? If you've got this far, you've done extremely well. And remember, it's a very brave captain who sails his ship towards a safe harbour. And we need to be those brave captains of our own ships. It's really important that you sail your own ship and you go to your chosen destination. And if people want to come with you to your destination, that's up to them. But they might have a different destination, and that has to be also acknowledged, and we have to allow that freedom in life. So on that note, I'll leave you for now, and I will move on and do your individual sun signs and rising signs. And if you know both, well, you'll know your sun sign, but if you know your rising sign, which is also known as the ascendant, check that out too. As I said, they're all time-stamped in the description box, and so please check those out. Check out your friends' horoscopes as well. I always think that's quite interesting to sort of see what other people are up to. And thank you for joining me. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'd be super thrilled if you could subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye for now. Aries. So this reading is for the sun in Aries or for the ascendant. Aries, what's been going on for you with relationships? Because I'm sensing there are things that have been happening that are a bit underhand, secretive. There's been a little bit of deception around, and that's all going to get cleared up this month, and in a way that you'll be very happy about. Because if there has been something that's just not been serving you well, that is going to change. I think you're going to find your voice. And I think in the nicest possible way, you're going to make it clear to people in your life that have not been playing fair that you're not going to tolerate or accept this kind of behavior. Uranus is telling me that there's a huge part of you that just wants to break free. You want to break free of the restrictions that have been put upon you. And with all this Aries energy you have this month, with Jupiter here, Jupiter's our planet of luck and opportunity. You're going to have Jupiter here for, well, several more months this year, and then next year in the spring, Jupiter moves fully into your sign. And that's going to be for quite a few months. You're really going to have a lot of good luck in 2023. Opportunities for your career. You're going to have opportunities to really kind of feel much better about you. I think your self-esteem and your sense of value has had quite a knock over the last few months, maybe even longer. And it feels as if the energy that we have at the moment is going a long way towards rebuilding that. And that's partly because you're going to find your voice. You are going to find this part of you that can say in the nicest possible way, firmly, fairly, that you ain't gonna take this kind of shit anymore. You may be saying that also to yourself, that you want to be treated with fairly. So we've still got, of course, your ruling planet in your sign, in Aries, which of course is giving you a lot of energy to really kind of pick up the plans that you've left on one side. And I think you're going to be coming across to people in a much more confident and assertive way, especially when you allow yourself to just really get into that sense of freedom and valuing yourself in a better way. You know, your destiny, where you can go over the next 18 months actually, is you can start to a certain extent building your own little empire. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we're all going to be Richard Bransons, but it does mean that the potential is there for you to really be in such a better place in a matter of months. So, you know, the sun is in Cancer this month, and that's really good for you because this brings the energy into the home arena. It's a lovely time to look at sort of changing your living environment, to, you know, if you needed to move, to look at how you could do that, to really make your living place, your home, exactly that, to make it feel much more homely. It's going to be a good month for you. I think once you clear up these outstanding issues which are to do with how you felt imprisoned and held back about secrets and lies, then once that's cleared, you're going to just feel so much better, Aries. Okay, so I hope that resonated with you, and thank you so much for joining me for your reading. And please remember to like, comment and subscribe. That would be super great. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Taurus. So this reading is for the Sun in Taurus or for the Ascendant. Taurus, I think you've been doing some inner reflective work. I think you've been kind of not exactly navel picking, but just looking at yourself and looking also at how the world sees you. I think, Taurus, because you've been going through a lot of changes lately, with my big boy Uranus in your sign, Uranus, our planet of the extraordinary, of the unexpected, of surprises, is actually surprising you in many ways in how you have changed and how you are able to communicate and relate to others. I think a lot of people are experiencing you in quite a different way. And that'll be especially your kind of public image. So whatever your career path is, or however you're seen in the world, we're going to see quite transformational energy around you at the moment. And a sense that you are able to have better boundaries. I think it's quite important for you to get some time management into your career and into your day-to-day routine. Because with this lovely Cancerian energy we have through most of July, it really does kind of give you a chance to communicate in a much more kind of loving and intuitive way. Sometimes, Taurus, you can be a bit blunt. You say it how it is. And there are some people that can take that and others that will not like it at all. So I think, Taurus, it's about, with this Aries energy in the part of your chart that's to do with the inner reflecting, this is being expanded by Jupiter, our wonderful, opportunistic planet, our big boy, Jupiter. Jupiter is expanding your self-awareness. And with Chiron here, it's like you're doing a lot of inner healing. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of you, Taurians out there, haven't sought the help of a coach or a counselor or a therapist over the last few months to help you navigate and negotiate some of the more challenging parts of your nature. And because, of course, you've got the node in your sign, the North Node, it's really bringing to the forefront for you, Taurus, about the extraordinary direction your life can take. It really can become super exciting. And it's who you take with you. It really is important, and I've said this before, that we sail our own ship towards our own destination. Someone once said to me, many years ago, to me, follow your star, Penny. If anyone wants to come with you, they will. It's their choice. But you have to stay true to your kind of destiny. And that's what I think you've been grappling with, Taurus. And that's what I think through the month of July, you're going to find it much easier to actually get a sense of who you are and where your destination lies. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much for joining me for your July forecast. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Gemini. So this reading is for the Sun in Gemini of the Ascendant. Gemini, stop worrying. Sometimes I think when you have Mercury in your sign, your ruling planet, our planet that is quite a chatterbox and actually can make us overthink at times, it feels as if you start the month feeling a little bit like you're just going over and over and making sure everything is kind of in its right place, in your thinking, in your head. And this Cancerian energy that we have in July is urging you to actually stop worrying about your financial status and to stop worrying about your budgeting and how to make your money work for you. Because when we get stuck in worry, it's like the universe just gives us more things to worry about. So it's really beneficial for you, Gemini, if you take a step back with regard to your property, your possessions, your financial situation, however big or small it is. And I've talked about this before, but it's about having faith. Have faith that what is yours will come to you. Have faith that your needs will be met. Because, you know, if we can just stay on that vibration of my needs will be met, my needs are always met by the divine, then it takes us out of that fear of lack, that fear of loss, or that somehow it's all going to slip through our fingers. So that's one thing that I want to give you for July. Another thing I want to bring up for you is your connection with the world at large, because I think there's a lot going on for you here. There's a lot of energy in this part of your chart. There's a sense that you really want to travel, and if you can't do it literally, it's about doing it on an inner level and finding ways to connect with the outside world in innovative and different ways. Because your inner world is going through a lot of changes at the moment. And I think you're wrestling with trying to get to a point in you where you start to really value who you are. Because I think you've sort of lost sight of that because you've got caught in this energy of lack. And if we look at where Saturn is in your event chart, Saturn is now retrograde in Aquarius. Saturn is in the part of your chart to do with your career, your public image. Saturn is saying, slow down, take your time. Actually, also Saturn's saying, have faith. Because Saturn has this kind of bad press about being a hard taskmaster. But Saturn is Chronos, you know, the kind of the passage of time. But you know what that takes us to? The golden age. And so with Saturn transits, and Saturn is retrograde at the moment, but you know, next year Saturn's going to try his feet in Pisces for a while. And while Saturn is when Saturn finally goes direct, it's like we get the gift if we've done the work, if we've done the inner work, and this is about you learning to let go, then Saturn will give us the rewards that we truly deserve. So communicate wisely, and don't forget your other half if you have one. If you haven't, that might be something that's going to change. Just a little sense, really picking up from that Sagittarius full moon we had in last month in June. So there we go, Gemini. I wish you a lovely month ahead. Thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Cancer. So this reading is for the Sun in Cancer or for the Ascendant. Cancer, happy birthday. It's your birthday season. And some of you will have already had a birthday in June, but for the July Cancerians, a very happy birthday. And, you know, when the sun's in your sign, I think it helps you feel a little bit more invigorated. I think your health improves. I think because you're a summer birthday, certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, it just kind of lifts your spirits. The moon for this event chart is shedding light on your financial situation, and that is going to transform. I want you to think back to what was going on for you in February, because there are similar energies around with retrograde Pluto, my big boy, my little dwarf planet, but he's a big boy with a big punch, and with retrograde Pluto that's in the part of the chart that is to do with other people's money, or money that is owed to you, or money that is due to you, that is paid to you. And so I want you to think about what was going on in February, because it could be that something that's overdue finally comes to you. You're doing some inner reflection as well. All the signs this month are taking a little bit of time out to do a bit of little navel picking, a little bit of inner reflection. And that's never a bad thing. I think what you have to be careful of is that you don't get too deep down into it and get and lose sight, you know, overthink the plot. Don't overthink the plot, Cancer. Just take a step backwards and look at the bigger picture of who you are and how far you've come. You know, you've done well, Cancer. And you've got this extraordinary energy of Uranus, my big boy, of sort of explosive behavior and excitement and unexpected events. And this is in the part of your chart to do with your ideas, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes. Uranus is conjunct the North Node, which is your destiny. There's something brewing for you, Cancer, which is taking you towards a part of your life that has kind of been elusive for you. There's a path that you have wanted to follow that has just been quite difficult to access. And I think it's to do with your career and with all the amazing energy you've actually got in your career house at the moment, with Jupiter there. Jupiter's giving you a taste of what's to come from about the spring next year and for the rest of 2023. Jupiter is going to bring luck, opportunities, and a lot of very interesting energy into your life. Let's just have a look at where Saturn is for you, because Saturn is currently retrograde. Yes, my big boy Saturn, our planet of boundaries and restrictions. And you are feeling a little bit restricted in terms of what you would like to do and where you would like to go. But if anything is being delayed, if you've got travel plans, even if it's only short distances and they're getting delayed or blocked, just trust that they're being delayed for a reason. And, you know, because that energy will shift and that energy will change. And I just feel that if you focus your energies much more on what's happening in your career, your passion, your sort of soul direction, what you really want to achieve in life, that with Mars still in Aries, Mars is giving you like a heads up and saying, now is the time to really strike. And when Mars moves into Taurus, then, well, we'll wait for that for next month, but that's going to be super exciting. Okay, Cancer, thank you so much for joining me for your reading. And please like, comment and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Leo. So this reading is for the Sun in Leo or for the Ascendant. Leo, goodness. What's going on in your relationships? They are changing dramatically. It's like anything that has gone past its sell-by date is done with. It may be a way of behavior that has to go if a relationship is going to endure. And there will be some that don't. Because I think you're really waking up to looking at what truly serves you, Leo. At looking at, I also think it's something about you're much more in touch with your intuition, your gut feeling, Leo. And you're recognizing that there are just certain ways of behaving that you have used in the past with regard to relationships that don't work anymore. Because you've seen, you can actually, it's like you've become aware of what happens, of what you do, of these unconscious kind of habits and behaviors we get into. And of course, once we become aware of something and it makes us uncomfortable, we can't go back to doing that same way of behaving. So it's almost as if there's a little bit of loss around you, almost a sense of grief for what's lost, for what's gone, because that way of behaving, you can't do it anymore, Leo. And I think with the Sun in Cancer for you, this really sheds light on the inner work that you have to do. And it's a chance to exorcise demons for good, to really then get into a situation where you reap the reward of the hard and tough inner work that you're doing. Because if we look at what's happening with your career path, your career is really super exciting. We have a lot of interesting energy, and with the presence of Uranus in the part of your chart that is to do with your career, Uranus in Taurus, this wonderful planet of the unexpected, it's conjunct the North Node, which is your destiny. This is about your public image. Uranus conjunct the North Node means that unexpected developments are going to happen for you that are really going to push you out there in the public eye. I wouldn't be surprised if there will be quite a few Leos who get quite a name for themselves over the next few months, hopefully in a good way. But I think they're certainly going to be making their presence felt. And Uranus, interestingly, can often be about, because it's kind of electronic stuff, it could be the internet, it can actually be film and television or YouTube. So if you're a Leo, or a Leo ascendant with a YouTube channel, for example, then that's going to really take off. And you're going to see the stirrings of that this month. And that's going to be super exciting. Just pay attention to Neptune's retrograde in Pisces at the moment, because Neptune will be kind of trying to reconnect you with some kind of inner energies where you can really identify the areas of your psyche where it's a little bit where I came in, where you're not completely honest with yourself. So try and really look in the mirror, Leo. I know you love doing that, Leo, because Leos just love admiring themselves. That's why they like being center stage. But this is kind of looking at your shadow, Leo. And you know what? The rewards are boundless, endless, if you can really face up to that inner shadow. So on that note, I wish you a lovely month ahead, Leo. And please like, comment and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Virgo. So this reading is for the Sun in Virgo or for the Ascendant. Virgo. I get the feeling this month that you are considering making some quite dramatic changes in your whole kind of way of being in your life. And you may even be considering, if not moving house, even moving country. That could be something that's around for you, Virgo. There's some interesting energy because Uranus, my lovely big boy of surprises, is conjunct the North Node. And the North Node is our destiny. It's your destiny. It's where you are meant to go. They're both in Taurus. And they're showing us that there could be extraordinary changes in your life. Some of these may be outside of your control. It may be to do with others. It could be to do with a partner that brings about this change that can come into your life. I mean, obviously not every Virgo is going to move house, move country, change direction, but sometimes it's just about changing direction on an inner level. How can you, it feels, Virgo, as if you've got quite stuck in a kind of rut, and you've been treading water, and you want to do things right, whatever that means, and you want to have good, fulfilling relationships, and you can sense that there are things that are going to be changing in your relationships, which you probably got a sense of towards the end of last year. And now they're kind of coming to the kind of forefront again. And I think because Pluto, our dwarf planet, our big outer boy, who's just known as a dwarf planet, is retrograde currently. I want you to think back to what was going on for you with regard to creative projects that you had round about the end of February, because I think you're going to get some new ideas. I think you are going to look or suddenly realize how you can structure these ideas you've got in a much better way. And by the end of the year, you will have really cracked that. The Sun, of course, for you this month is in Cancer. And it's actually in the part of your chart that is very much to do with dreams and hopes and wishes. I think that it really feels to me that if you can trust your intuition and get out of your head Virgo. I think, Virgo, of all the signs, you're one of the worst at getting in your own way and not allowing your thoughts to be sort of in conjunction with your intuitive sense inside. So use that Cancerian energy to just kind of get a sense of what could be much more intuitive thoughts that are coming up for you, which would really serve you well in whatever it is that you want to do within your career kind of whole scenario. And it looks like there's money coming in with connection with work, and also that you are valued more. You're aware that others are valuing the work you do and seeing you. You know, for people to be able to do that, we have to also value ourselves. So perhaps what you have to do to bring that out of others, to see that they are actually valuing you and your contribution, then start giving yourself a bit of a pat on the back, Virgo, and recognizing that actually you've done pretty well. And there is a long way to go yet, and there's a lot of very interesting and exciting opportunities that are going to come up for you. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Libra. So this reading is for the Sun in Libra of the Ascendant. Libra, gosh. Well, there's a lot of energy going on in the part of your chart to do with your significant relationships. If you're not in one, and you would like to be, that could happen this month. And there is the potential for it to be a very healing experience for you and also for the other person. And if you are lucky enough or fortunate enough to be in a good relationship, then I think you're going to be having some very frank conversations, which also help you to come closer to each other and really feel bonded in a way that you haven't felt for some time. It's interesting because when I look at your chart and I look at some of the strident energy you've got, for instance, in Taurus, where my big boy Uranus, our planet of the unexpected, of explosive happenings, is conjunct the North Node. And the North Node is your destiny. I do think this month you're going to be paying serious attention to how you are going to plan out your future with your partner, husband, wife, girlfriend, other half, soulmate, in terms of how you budget for yourselves, how you manage your personal financial situation. Because we know that the world is going through quite difficult times, I think you're looking, you know, you're very good at this, Libra. You really do kind of take a step back, and you're very sensible. You're very sensible, Libra, and I think you look at how you can budget and making sure that you budget in a way that you make sure everything is covered. So there's also some interesting communication going on with regard to what you would like to bring into your life in terms of experience and knowledge. I wonder whether you're looking at doing some kind of online course, something that just gives you a little bit of a different take on life. And you know what? It could be something that could even make you some money in the future. But it will certainly make you feel better about yourself, and that, you know, it's always good, I think, to increase our knowledge and kind of inner travel. I think it really helps us to see the bigger picture in a much better way. because there's been a lot of energy going on in your kind of sector of friends and kind of romantic relationships and creativity. And Saturn is just putting the brakes on a bit down here, slowing you down and saying, maybe with social interaction, it's fine, but can we do it on a shoestring? Can we actually find a way to entertain each other or have fun with groups of friends without it costing an arm and a leg? So I think you're being very prudent and thoughtful about how you do that. The Sun, of course, in Cancer is shedding light on your career direction and your kind of public image. And I just feel that intuitively, you're going to be able to feel that you can connect more fully with the sort of the big wide world. I think you're going to feel a much better sense of connection, and to use that intuitive part of you that you don't always get in touch with, Libra, but it's there. And sometimes you have to consciously think, right, I must get into that kind of mode of operation and allow that kind of channeling, if you like, to come through. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me, Libra. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Scorpio. So this reading is for the Sun in Scorpio off the Ascendant. Scorpio. Wow. There is such a lot going on for you at the moment. I think where I'm going to focus first is on your significant relationships, because you've got Uranus, my big boy Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, the planet of twists and turns that we never saw coming, and dramatic events. You have this in the part of your chart that is to do with your significant relationships, and it's edging closer and closer to a conjunction with the North Node. Now, the North Node is your destiny, but this is the destiny of your close relationships. And you've got this energy for the next kind of year or so, because the North Node is in Taurus, which is destiny. The South Node is in your sign, Scorpio, so it's what you're bringing into this. The interesting thing for this particular event chart is the part of fortune is conjunct the South Node in Scorpio. So whatever decisions you make with regard to significant relationships or a significant relationship, be it a business partnership or a love relationship, then it will be good for you. Even if it's a dramatic ending or something that you hadn't really wanted to bring about, it will ultimately be good. And it's like it's time. It's really time for things to change in your emotional life. Because I think you've had some confusion, inner kind, and maybe even inner deception, where you've kidded yourself about a certain situation and not liked ultimately what you've had no choice but to see, because I think Uranus has really woken you up to a situation which really doesn't serve you. You see, your day-to-day routine is really revved up at the moment, and I think work and your career is going extraordinarily well. And there's some fortunate energy around your career this month. And I think that with the presence of Jupiter in Aries, my big boy, really big boy, who is about luck and opportunity, you know, there could be an interesting offer that comes this month. And it would actually be very good for you. It would be more work, it would be harder work, and you'll need to make sure you keep your energy levels good, get plenty of rest, but it would be a good move. Communication, I just want to look at that as well, because I think you need to think back to what was going on in February, because retrograde Pluto, my small big boy, my little dwarf planet, retrograde Pluto is going back to the position that he was at in February. I want you to think about what was going on in terms of you talking to others or another, because there's similar energy around. And there's always the potential for whatever it was to get resolved, especially because you've got the sun in Cancer, and the sun is in that part of your chart which is really kind of shedding light on matters that are at a distance, or journeys that you need to make on an inner level. So bear that in mind. And I have a feeling, Scorpio, that you're also going to be making some changes in the way your residence or where you live is. You could just be looking at making some changes to make it more comfortable for you. But I think you're going to be quite busy at home, maybe even preparing for guests. So there we go, Scorpio. A lot going on. And it'll be very interesting to see how your relationships fare next month when the planet Mars, the ruler of Aries, moves into Taurus. That's going to be super interesting. So look out for that one. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me, Scorpio. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Sagittarius. So this reading is for the sun in Sagittarius off the ascendant. Sagittarius, the first thing I want to say about your chart for July is really pay attention to any health matter you've got that you have not addressed yet. Because with that planet Uranus, my big boy Uranus, the planet of the unexpected and surprises, coming up to conjunct the North Node in a part of your chart that can be concerned with health, you don't want any surprises that were too unexpected. So, because it'll be something that will be long lasting, that you have to deal with over a longer period of time. So it's really important to nip that in the bud. So if there are appointments that you've been delaying, don't. Make them, do them, and get it sorted. Astrology is about working with the energies constructively. You know, the astrology gives us a heads up. So please don't fear it. Just think, oh, good, glad I listened to that, because, right, I'll make that appointment now then. Because that's the beauty of astrology. So let's also look at what else is going on for you this month, because I think with regard to your kind of social life, you're probably burning the candle at both ends a bit. I think you really want to have some fun and get out there and mix with people, because really this is the first kind of July for a good couple of years that we've all been able to behave fairly normally. And so with Jupiter in this part of your chart that is kind of bringing all the opportunities to you that you would like to do to connect with others, then, you know, just go for it. But don't exhaust yourself, because you've got Mars in this part of the chart too. And Mars could also be just making you basically exhausted. So just tone it down a bit. Just pace yourself. Use some of this lovely Cancerian energy that's in the part of your chart that is to do with how you kind of transform on an inner level. The way you're able to see the truth about things, the way you're able to just make changes to you on that inner level, because I think you've known for some time that not only do you need to address some of the more physical issues in your body, but you also need to address some of the psychological and emotional difficulties that you might have been struggling with. And this month, you have the opportunities to do that. I also think that this month is going to be quite fortunate for you. So in spite of some areas that you really need to look at and address, you actually have the part of fortune in your sign, and it's almost like it's shedding its fortunate energy over the whole of the month ahead, and giving you that kind of sense that as long as you work with the energy of the astrology, follow your intuition and follow your gut feeling about everything, and then you can address these issues in a much better way. And relationships are really going to pick up this month. I think if you've needed to have some honest, frank discussions with that significant person in your life, then this month you're going to get that opportunity. And Venus, our beautiful planet of love, our goddess of romance and relationship, in this part of your chart is going to make you really start valuing the people that you do have in your life that occupy that kind of significant relationship status. That can be in work as well as in our personal life. So Sagittarius, thank you so much for joining me, and please like, comment and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Capricorn. So this reading is for the Sun in Capricorn off the Ascendant. Capricorn, I'm going to start with your sign and my big outer boy, the small dwarf planet Pluto, because Pluto is currently retrograde in your sign. And I want you to think back to what was going on for you towards the end of February this year, because whatever it was, something else is going to come up for you around that, something that helps to continue your kind of personal self-development and your development on an inner level of who you are. And it's going to be so fortunate for you, because I think there's some energy around that kind of implies that if there's not anyone in your life that is the sort of the significant other, the special one for you at the moment, that with the Sun in Cancer, in that part of your chart to do with relationships, it feels as if it's shedding light. It's helping you to be more discerning, to actually start looking at the certain kind of patterns that you've repeated in the past with past relationships that haven't worked out, and an ability with the Sun here that if or when somebody new comes into your kind of aura, that you're able to look at it in a much more kind of dispassionate way, not unkindly and not without feeling, but to think, what boxes is this person ticking? And are they actually ticking areas of my life and beliefs and patterns of behavior that have not served me well in the past? Because if they are, you will learn to not go there and to say thank you, but no thank you. But I'm focusing on this because I do feel there is the potential for somebody new to come into your life this month. You've got this ongoing energy of Uranus, my big boy, of the unexpected, of surprises, in the part of your chart that can be to do with love affairs, romance. And Uranus is currently conjunct the North Node. Well, the North Node is about our destiny. This tells me that somebody could cross your path, who there really is some kind of destiny intertwined for you, which is quite surprising. And I just think you need to just be aware of that. With regard to what's happening in your working life, I think that you're going to be having some quite frank discussions with colleagues, with workmates, and actually, you know what it is? It's about wanting people to value what you do. It really does feel very important for you to know that your work, your hard efforts, because you work so hard, Capricorn, are valued. And that's pretty important to you. And there's a lot of energy still to do with family and your home base, where you live. And I think Jupiter in this part of your chart is bringing up opportunities that if you want to make significant changes in where you're living, whether you want to move, make big changes just within your current living space, but there is, this energy is giving you a kind of a heads up of what to expect next year, and sort of from about the middle of next year, well, from about the spring actually, the spring onwards, of that is the time when there really could be some significant changes in your living arrangements. Okay, Capricorn, thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Aquarius. So this reading is for the Sun in Aquarius or the Ascendant. Wow, 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 Aquarius. Whew. What was going on for you towards the end of February this year? Because retrograde Pluto, our small dwarf planet, my big outer boy, is retrograde at the moment, and Pluto is going to be retrograding to the point it was at towards the end of February. Now I'm thinking about this on an inner level. Did you go through some kind of revelations at that time? Did you have a kind of an inner sense of something that was unfolding for you that was kind of almost your destiny, that there was kind of little room to maneuver in this, little choice, that it's your destiny for where you're going? Because something that was going on around that time is going to come back up for you during the first half of July. And I think what's also super interesting is where you're living, your living space, because with Uranus, my big boy of the unexpected and shocks and surprises, conjunct the North Node in this part of your chart. I just wouldn't be surprised, Aquarius, if you made significant changes, which, you know, it's almost as if you've been living somewhere for many, many years, people will be so surprised because you suddenly decide you're moving. And it's kind of out of character. But I do think that is a strong possibility for you, Aquarius. We've also got to look at retrograde Saturn in your sign, because retrograde Saturn is actually asking you to just take your time and reflect, because I think you're getting a lot of kind of inner aha moments. You're waking up. There's a lot for you that you are processing on an inner level. And Saturn is saying, slow down and take time before you make any dramatic changes. That it's still important to look at the structures of what you're doing, to not get carried away and caught in the overthinking of the creativity of these ideas, but to actually just ground them a bit. Because Aquarius, you're an air sign, and you are good at getting lost in thought. You're very good at that. But I do feel this month the energy is asking you to just take a bit of time out to reflect before you make any big major decisions. Because Jupiter in Aries, Jupiter, our huge, big outer boy, our planet of luck, opportunity, exciting stuff. Jupiter is actually in the part of the chart for you that's to do with finance. Now, this is super cool. This is unexpected windfalls. And just for anyone that does astrology and knows about house placements, I'm using tropical Placidus. So therefore, the houses aren't exact with the actual sign on the ascendant, which is Aquarius for this reading. So it puts Jupiter in the second house of this particular reading. But there's also a sense of your self-worth and your value, and that is going to receive quite a sort of an influx of healing, that you're just going to feel much more confident, much better about yourself, and actually, for the first time for a long time, really positive about where you're going, about where you've come from, what you've brought with you to this point, and the direction you want to take that in. It's all good stuff, Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Pisces. So this is the reading for the sun in Pisces or for the ascendant. So my lovely fishes, my oceans of emotions, how are we this month? Because, well, of course, you've now got your ruling planet Neptune retrograde in your sign. This is giving you time to reflect. I think you've needed it. And I think what you're reflecting on in quite a big way are the significant relationships in your life. I think you're looking at what really can come with you into the future, what serves you, and what doesn't. Jupiter, my big, expansive outer boy, Jupiter in Aries, is bringing some opportunities and luck into your life for you to really change and grow. You're waking up, Pisces, which sounds strange for a sign that is actually the last sign of the zodiac and is often quite wide awake. But because you have no boundaries, Pisces, you can get very lost. And Neptune hasn't been a great help to you in your sign, because sometimes it's made you deceive yourself and not be able to see the truth about ways that you are, ways that you behave, and ways that would really be better for you. You know, if we look at what's going on in Aquarius, where you've got retrograde Saturn now, you know, you need to think back, I think, to what was going on for you in February, because I think that's when the seeds were sown for some of the changes that you might start to initiate in this month of July. I think there'll be very fortunate changes for you, and projects that you've had perhaps just waiting in the wings, that you haven't really been able to get moving, will have a little bit of a lucky streak in them and can start to take off. There's something in the past that has been part of your learning and your experience that you want to bring forward through you now into the future. And with Uranus, my lovely big boy of the unexpected and shocks and all sorts of interesting things, twists and turns, is conjunct the North Node in Taurus. Now, this is about communication. It's in that part of your chart. It's also about how you value yourself. I think you have something worthwhile to give to the world. And you're beginning to see that it's no good just navel picking about this. It's time you took action. And I think you're going to surprise a few people with the decisions that you make this month. And just as an aside to that, there's a lot going on at home with family. There's a lot of communication, a lot of discussions going on. It may be that you're choosing to actually spend some time away from home, so that you're looking at how that's going to kind of link in and work with the family and anyone that is dependent on you. But with the sun in Cancer this month, shedding light on our intuitive abilities, it's really, I think, for you, Pisces, helping you see much more clearly what the direction is that you want to go in, how you want to communicate. I think it's going to help you communicate in a much more authentic way. I think you're finding a depth of integrity within you, Pisces, which is really going to surprise a lot of people. But you know what? They're going to be so thrilled for you to see you finally coming out of what has perhaps been quite a dark place for you for quite a long time. So, Pisces, my little fishes, my oceans of emotions, thank you so much for joining me for your reading. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.